Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning viewers, you are watching the news with me, Vega Kiswanto. We will provide the latest news and information. The first news come from the economic news about reducing working hours because of the 19. We went straight to the news. BUMN and private companies are advised to reduce working hours. The tax worker for the acceleration of COVID-19 handling calls for civil servant or VNS, state warrant and private working hard to be reduced to 8 hours day. The reduction in the working hours is expected to reduce the passenger capacity of public vehicles during business hours. The FL is contained in circular letter number 8 of 2020 concerning the regulation of working hours on the adaptation of new habits toward a productive and safe social from COVID-19 in the Greater Jakarta area. The circular will regulate to the initial stage of starting work, which is expected to have implication at the end of the working day. According to Yuri, this effort is to achieve a balance between the capacity of public transportation mode and the number of passengers. Furthermore, Yuri said the related to high-risk employees who are exposed to and have bad impacts such as those who have comorbid diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. Policies can be given the work at home. Circular will be applied today Monday, so that its application can optimize the control of COVID-19 transmission. The next news. Erick Thohir forbid BUMN to develop their own research. BUMN Minister Erick Thohir will prohibit state-owned companies from doing their own research and development. He said in the future BUMN must hold the university in this matter. Eric previously said the Ministry of BUMN currently has 5 strategic priorities. One of them is to balance business conduct with social impact responsibility. For this reason, BUMN must have the courage to change ecosystem business collaboration and partnership. He also asked BUMN to be a player who can make breakthrough in the technological era so that it can be realized. He said BUMN must maximize the value of good and clean corporate governance and finally increase the capacity of the people who work in the ministry of BUMN or state-owned companies. The next news. Deadly assault Corona and Pizza Hut bankruptcy. Hundreds of thousands of business are under heavy pressure when the coronavirus pandemic hits the world. No expectation to the food business. In fact, the food business is one of the sectors that is projected to be resilient in all conditions. In fact, not a fewer business went bankrupt in the middle of the pandemic, or one that is attracting public attention is NVC International, the company that holds Pizza Hut and Wendy's license in the United States. Filed for bankruptcy because the company debt swelled up to $1 billion. NPC International has 1,200 Pizza Hut licenses and 400 Wendy is the United States. The filing of the NPC bankruptcy breaks the perception that the food business is immune to the crisis. Chairman of the Indonesian Franchise and Licensee Association Levita Sufit said the challenge facing the franchise business today were more severe than the 2008 crisis. Concern over the coronavirus has kept people from shopping and making the food industry worse. This worst condition also oppressed French companies that were partially strong in the terms of income and growth throughout the world had explained in Indonesia the closure of hundreds of KFC outlets that affected from nearly 1,000 works were the most overseas example. Levita asserts that large-scale social restriction (PSBB) have eroded daily turnovers because restaurant can only take away, order only delivery, service home delivery or drive through. In addition, continued Anang entrepreneur need to improve the restore customer confidence in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic by prioritizing health and hygiene factor will the franchise is the inside the mall cooperation with the manager is very important adoption with payment with cash to the application of non-touch technology under and equipment in the toilet area also important to make visitor feel more secure and comfortable. If this can be done, he predicts that through the second half of 2020 the growth of food and beverage prices can still be measured at around 5%. The next news. Lion Air Live employees to reduce operational expenses. Lion Air Group terminates employees layers on number of employees, both Indonesian and foreign workers. Reduction of employees was carried out amid the drop in the ticket sales during the coronavirus pandemic. Dana Mandala, Prihantoro Corporate Communication Strategy of Lion Group, said the layoff were based on the work contract period worker was contract period highs expired will certainly not be extended by the company. However, in his statement, Danang did not specify how many Lion Air employees were laid off. Danang said that since returning to operation, the average operating capacity was only 15% of normal capacity, which is an average of 1,400 1,600 flights per day. In addition, Lion Air Group also cut the income of all management at employers with 15% tax policy. The policy has been implemented from last March until and under the time. Furthermore, the company promised to prioritize laid off employees by rehiring them after the company finances and revenues recovered. And the last news. Corona positive employees Unilever factory temporarily closed. PT Unilever Indonesian factory in Cikarang was temporarily closed, following a positive case of 19 employees in the engineering department. However, Sanchoyo was relocation to decrease the number of employees. WHO reported positive COVID-19, and when the factory will resume operation, Sanchoyo also said that his office had constant contact tracing and required 265 PCR tests to all building employees. According to the company health protocol has stressed that the coronavirus handling protocol used by Unilever Indonesia is in accordance with Unilever International standards that are used by all Unilever offices and factories in 180 countries since the beginning of the pandemic. He said zoning in the factory complex had been carried out. Sanchoyo assured that the Unilever Cikarang factory complex has strict work zone and production area separation protocol. He also assured that the temporary closure of the Unilever Indonesia factory in the Cikarang will not affect safely to customer. For information, employees who tested positive for COVID-19 were employees in the Cikarang factory. building. The TPB building is part of Unilever Indonesia factory complex in Cikarang. Meanwhile, within the complex, there are several buildings. Forest production area are economic. I am Vega Kiswanto. Thank you and goodbye.